Hey, and welcome to All Things Social Security. My name is Stephanie Joy of Joy Disability, and you're about to see a piece of what goes on with our Wednesday live Q&A session. It's a live stream on this channel every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It gives you an opportunity to ask questions and have them addressed on the spot on a first come, first served basis. Otherwise, I also want to welcome you to the channel generally. We have our 12 noon newer time frame, that is, shares of video tips and goings on that occur in the midst of any workday on Social Security and SSI matters, as well as beneficiary matters and other things that go on in our workday that we feel often helps claimants who are pro se and or have a representative, but it's just some information they want to get a better grasp on. So we share them here every day, and I welcome you to join us every day at noon. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Robert Bruce says, I have a question. I'm 100% disabled, mental and physical, in my 60s. I got on disability in 2003. I think I have Medicaid, but they said if I tried taking a job, I would lose my Medicaid, like answering phone. If you're on Medicaid, that means that you are on the poorer side. You could have SSI, Robert, or you have D. Remember, SSI is the welfare program called Supplemental Security Income. It is handled by the SSA as one of the disability programs, the other one being SSDI or SSD, Social Security Disability. I know they make those acronyms very similar. I think one almost has to think they did that by design to confuse people. One is welfare, SSI. One is not welfare. It's insurance that you bought, SSD. So if you were a worker sufficiently close in time to when you filed and claimed to be disabled, Robert, that would be SSD. However, and sometimes people with SSD, you're eligible for Medicare, but if your SSD is low enough, you might be poor enough for Medicaid as well. And sometimes a person could be dual eligible, and sometimes the Medicaid will pay the Medicare premium, which is like $180 or $185 a month. Plus, it may pay for the copays and the deductible for the Medicare. Because Medicare is more like regular insurance. Medicaid is kind of like everything's free for the recipient. It's welfare for, needs-based. They need it, supposedly, and most do. I think they're saying if you take a job, your income might go up such that you are no longer poor enough for the Medicaid. So your Medicaid program, which is a local program, each state kind of gears it the way they want it. You want to find out, well, can I earn anything and keep my Medicaid given what I have from SSI or SSD? You really want to maybe talk to a caseworker there and find out. Because I know if you're kind of jonesing to do a little bit of part-time work, which I think is great because it's great for the mental, it can be great for the physical, getting you up and out there, social, all that kind of stuff. Just find out what, if anything, can you do in terms of earning money at a gainful job, but very, very part-time. Maybe they'll say you could do 6 hours a week if you're only making $12 an hour. Maybe not, but you got to find out before you risk it, I'd say. Hey there, that was one of our little Q&A clips. I hope you found it informative or helpful or just enjoyable. I am attaching a related video that we have put together a while back that is on a similar topic and or an extension of what we were just talking about. So if you needed some more information on that, that's a place to start. You can also look in our playlists. There is a ton of them. I think there's over 1,000 videos. So there's almost every topic in the world touched upon in some way, shape, or form. And again, as a reminder, you can always put in the comments any kind of question you have, even if it's unrelated to this or any other video. I will talk to you later. Carry on. Good morning again. Okay, Medicaid and Medicare when we're disabled. Okay, so we know some of the differences. Medicare, which we get normally when we're of retirement age, if we worked and paid in for it, we kick in at 65. For people who become Social Security disabled because they had earned and paid for Social Security disability insurance status, they will get Medicare well before 65 if they are younger when they are on Social Security disability, because generally after about 24 months worth of payments, and they could be lump sum retroactive, when you prevail, you could actually automatically at that time be eligible for Medicare, other currently and or retroactively as well. Other times, if you are found disabled, but it's less than 29 months ago, you are going to have to wait for your Medicare waiting period to be over. So the waiting period is 24 months worth of entitlement to monthly benefits. So because the first 5 months is a waiting period for almost everybody, that makes it 29 months from the date of onset as a general rule. Now, sometimes you can be Medicare eligible and entitled due to having Social Security disability, but your disability benefit amount is very low. Maybe you didn't work for very many years or at a very high rate, or you were only part-time, but enough to get Social Security disability. You might have a low enough income level, if you don't have alternative income sources, to also get Medicaid. And that's through your state and your county offices there, because that usually generally applies for disabled and poorer people. So if you have a very low disability payment, and again, I'm talking about SSD and not SSI necessarily. SSI, yes, you're going to get the Medicaid. But with SSD, you might also, it's called dual eligibility, and you can have both Medicare and Medicaid. And the nice part about that is that the Medicaid generally pays for the Medicare premiums, because Medicare does come with premiums. So if you're low enough income, you'll have both. One will be primary, generally, that would be Medicare, and then Medicaid would be secondary, and it will cover potentially the Medicare premiums for you, which is, $170 or whatever it is. It changes year to year, as well as copays and potentially deductibles. So that is something to look in. If you have a relatively low, like under the average for sure, Social Security disability benefit amount, inquire as to Medicaid. You might just be eligible for it, and it will leave that premium, that monthly premium, back in your check. You won't have to be expending $170 out of your $1,400 check or whatever it is. So definitely something to look into, dual eligibility. It can be really helpful for those with lower primary insurance amounts for Social Security disability. Okay. Hope that helps. Bye. Hello again. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful, if not just a little bit informative. In the event you have a Social Security question you want addressed, please feel free to make a comment below and ask the question, even if nothing to do with this particular video. And just a quick, again, reminder, we have our daily video shares and tips around noon every day of the week. And on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our live Q&A session where you can come in live and enter your questions in the chat. And we all pretty much have a good time for an hour or two. I look forward to seeing you there, hopefully. And lastly, don't forget about our benefactor memberships. They're very reasonably priced. The first one is very nominal, and you get a few perks, but on a bigger scale, it contributes to us being able to fulfill a mission of assisting certain people with representation that would otherwise not be able to get it. We look forward to continuing to do that, and so far it's working out like the bomb. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Bye-bye now.